Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to League Zero Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. We're here at the Red Bull Ring for the beginning of such an excellent season. Looking forward to another great race, a great season amongst great friends. As always, I'm your host, James East, bringing the action today to P 60 frames a second. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, thank you all so much for those that have been supporting us over the years now. Calling the races here at League Zero on a guaranteed to be another great season. Let's go ahead and run through today's grid. Starting on pole, Finley Fitzsimmons, Michael Keogh starting second, Daniel Zager starting third, Reed Gibson starting fourth, Nick Peterson starts fifth, Antonio Bianchi starting sixth, Max Wobbles will be starting seventh. Cycling it back to Micah Barnett, he's starting eighth, Charles Carrener starts ninth, Jerry Ziegler starting 10th, Eric Fox starts 11th, Kevin Burrows, 12th on the grid. Cycling back one more time, Michael Fairchild starts 13th. Scott Cummins starting 14th. Blaine Sparling starts 15th. Nick Beaver starts 16th. Alex Penn starting 17th. Justin Sang starting 18th. Nick Terrell starts 19th. Norman King starting 20th. Nick Trollman starts 21st. John Kasai starting 22nd. Jake Duckwall starts 23rd. Felipe Ramos starts 24th. Cycling it back yet another time, Xavier Zanave starting 25th. Felipe Sarkis starts 26th. Jeff Murphy starting 27th. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, starting 28th. Levi Opitz starts 29th. Ricardo Espino starting 30th. And Peter Rettinger, the Austrian, will round out the 31-car grid here tonight. My, oh my, is this going to be a busy race for everybody as we get ready for a few more drivers to make their way out onto the grid. I do believe this is the biggest grid that I've ever seen out of League Zero, so good to see more drivers coming out each and every week, getting in on the action. And if these drivers stay throughout the season, I think we're in for a good one, ladies and gentlemen. As it looks like Fitzsimmons has taken the grid in his number 16 machine. Still waiting on a large portion of the field to make their way out. Still waiting, it looks like, on Michael Kiao, Daniel Zegers. A handful of drivers have yet to make it onto the grid here. Now, this is starting up the 45-minute feature event. 28 laps or 45 minutes, whatever comes first. We'll have a brief intermission, and then we will have the final sprint race of the evening, which is always action-packed when we get these drivers half the laps, twice the action. And yet we still wait for drivers to make their way out. A few drivers trying to get some heat into those engines. Still waiting on it. Looks like 5 or 6 drivers to make their way out onto the grid. Limiting it. We're just waiting on Fox, Terrell, and Espino to make their way out. Definitely. I think hands down, I think that's the biggest League Zero grid we've ever seen to date here. Looks like drivers have made their way out onto the grid. And let's get ready to start this season off here at the Austrian Grand Prix at the League Zero Formula 3 Series. Fitzsimmons in the top spot. Michael will be accompanying him in the 66. The engine's rev. And away we go to start the main event. Already looks like we're hinting at some 3-4 wide action. Fitzsimmons has the race lead. Oh, and there we go. There goes Michael Keogh, Finley Fitzsimmons off into turn 1. That's going to give Daniel Zegers the race lead here. And hot pursuit is Reed Gibson, the number 11 machine. Fireworks starting the season off strong here. Oh my goodness, we were expecting a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of action, but not that early on. And more problems look like going into turn 1. Looks like Norman King, Gareth McAllister, Felipe Sparks. Oh, this is a little bit dangerous here, as we've got all sorts of dirt getting kicked off the track. We're focused in on Justin Sang. He's got John Kasai in hot pursuit a little bit further up front. Max Wobbles in 4th, ahead of Micah Barnett, Jared Ziegler, Nick Peterson. Now it looks like Fitzsimmons has been able to hold on to 8th, as he's got Charles Carrener right behind him, focusing on Carrener, the number 54 machine. Started 9th, still holding on to 9th. And just great racing all across this track. Max Wobbles, the number 13 machine, has moved up into 4th. And we get another big crash report. John Kasai is involved in that one. Let's take a look and see what happened to the Texas native here. Pulling it up on our instant replay, you've got John Kasai, the number 3 machine. Trying to see who that is. I think that maybe... Oh, Kasai's going to send it in deep, nowhere to go, 3 wide. That's going to collect Sang, and I think that may be Alex Penn, the number 30 machine. Yes, it is. That's Penn going for a wild ride. Sang also involved in that one. So unfortunately, a 3 wide maneuver that just wasn't going to work out. And I don't think we're going to have a full course caution. No safety car coming out yet, but that's going to be a big hit for Kasai, and unfortunately, I think he may be done and out of this one. Back up front, Reed Gibson, the number 11 machine, up 3 positions, able to make it happen. He's got about 7/10 on the number 77 of Daniel. And a very interesting battle shaping up just outside the podium spot. Max Wobbles has 3/10, but look at this. We're getting interrupted myself. That's Jared Ziegler and Micah Barnett side by side, battling for the top 5. Looks like contact between the two. Barnett comes out slightly ahead of the number 57 machine. And Finley Fitzsimmons rejoining the party here after a big lap 1 incident. Now we got to report Justin Sang has limped his way onto pit road. He's adjoining the likes of Michael Cow and Levi Opitz. As Ziegler trying to hold on to the top 5 spot, Micah Barnett, Finley Fitzsimmons have other plans here. Barnett with a big lunge at the inside line, nowhere to go. knowing Fitzsimmons, who qualified in the top spot, now sitting 7th, wants to get back up into the fray. Looks like Ziegler extending the track limit ever so slightly there. Has to be careful. And we are only 3 laps into this thing. Barnett with another big lunge up the inside line. Backs out of it. Ziegler pushes wide. Coming on the start-finish line straight. Ziegler's going to hold on to the 5th place spot. We get live timing to update here. And it is still frantic. Jeff Murphy's involved in an incident somewhere out on track number 14 machine. Oh, he's got big problems. Oh my goodness! There comes John Kasai, who's going to finish off both Murphy and himself. They are dropping like flies. Murphy is going to retire from the race now here at League Zero. If you take a tow back to pit road, you are done and out of the evening. As look at this, here comes Nick Peterson seemingly out of nowhere in the 24 machine. He was a top 5 driver in qualifying, has worked his way around Micah Barnett. Now he's putting his head forward to see if he can reel in Finley Fitzsimmons, the number 16 machine. Fitzsimmons still tucked in right behind Jared Ziegler. Scott Cummins takes an off-track excursion, waiting for the surface to clear before he can rejoin in the 55 machine. Will do so, get on track safely. And inside the top 10, things are just simply out of control. Micah Barnett, Charles Carriner, Eric Fox, Nick Bieber, running 8th to 11th. Nose to tail they go. And it looks like, oh my goodness, Bieber and Fox side by side, as well as Barnett and Peterson just ahead. Ziegler and Fitzsimmons have been going side by side as well. Great racing just all across such a busy raceway. We're going to have to get a future cameraman for these upcoming seasons because this is just absolutely insane here. Nick Peterson joining the party as well, side by side with your pole setter, Fitzsimmons. Peterson takes a look at the inside line. I think he's going to be set up well here. Ziegler trying to extend that breakaway as he holds on to the top 5. Looks like Peterson's going to come out in 6th, edging out Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons firing right back down the inside line. Oh, both drivers getting a little bit close there. Fitzsimmons holding on to the 6th place spot. Ziegler pulling a 1 second advantage. As now Peterson with an outside move takes over 6, but did he get a slowdown there in the final corner? And now Barnett, Carriner, Bieber have joined the fray. Oh, Peterson hitting that curving rather aggressively. As we go on board with Nick Bieber's number 10 machine. That's Carriner to the left side, and oh my good, things have gone terribly wrong. Micah Barnett, Charles Carriner, both involved in that one. Let's take a quick look because that was very, very violent. Taking a look here to see where this all went wrong. That was Peterson, Barnett, Carriner right ahead. Trying to see where things happened. It looked like Carriner kind of got hung up there. And then Bieber and Fox right behind, nowhere to go, I believe is the issue. Yeah, a little bit of contact there. Number 59 machine, that was Barnett involved in the first hit. Rear-ending traffic, and then Carriner gets absolutely launched in the 54 machine. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have to retire here from this one as well. Just heavy, heavy damage on the side and front. Really, every angle you can think of that 54 machine. We pan back to the heated battle for 6th. That's still Fitzsimmons, Peterson, and Bieber. All trying to make some positions up here. Now, I believe Hard Charger out on track is going to be Jake Duckwall back at 11th in the 99 machine. He is up 12 positions gained so far here this evening. As Fitzsimmons has a bit of a breakaway. Meanwhile, Fox, Beaver, and Peterson, 7th, 8th, and 9th, all duking it out here. Beaver leads the 8th and 9th place drivers by about 0.3 of a second. Looks like Fox closing the gap slightly to 33. Now waiting to see Fox, who's tucked in the draft in that 33 machine. See if he's going to set something up against Beaver or Peterson, or maybe Happy watching as it looks like Peterson takes a big lunge up the inside line. Beaver carries just a little bit more speed there, holding on to 7th. Another drag race, and they're punching a mighty wide hole in the air for Eric Fox in the 33. Fox still holding on to a top 9 result here. But it's very early. We have yet to even hit the green flag stops. Looks like Beaver with a little bit of a lock up there in the number 10. Will hold on to the advantage ever so slightly of Peterson's number 24 machine. This is definitely the most intense battle we have out on track. Now, we do have another one shaping up as well. If we go back and say battle for 15th, there's Michael Fairchild, Gareth McAllister, Norman King, Micah Barnett. Running all within about 3 to 4 tenths of each other. McAllister, the number 25, world famous Australian. He is up 12 positions gained so far. Oh, and looking to make it another one as he has a big lunge there against Fairchild. Nose the gearbox coming up into turn 1. McAllister stays tucked in behind the 88. Meanwhile, Micah Barnett and Norman King also linked up. Oh, look at that. You saw both Barnett and King stepping it out across the curbing. And here comes McAllister taking a lunge at Fairchild. Will he have the run he's looking for? McAllister hard on the brakes. Yes, he will do it, working his way into a top 15. Peterson and Beaver battling for 7th, still side by side. These two just going at it. Beaver with a massive lunge at the inside line. Peterson able to carry a little bit more momentum, but it looks like Beaver may come out on top here. Oh, it's too tough to tell. Peterson currently still holding on to 7th. Beaver working the outside line against him. It's a massive charge down to the hill. Narrowly avoiding contact. Oh, as I say that, I spoke too soon. Nick Peterson gets hit with the wheel-to-wheel contact with Beaver. And around and off track he goes. As it looks like Fitzsimmons has worked his way back up into 5th, edging out Jared Ziegler. Now Ziegler still up 4 spots from where he qualified here. Neither driver yielding at all. Ziegler's going to have the inside line. Let's see, does Fitzsimmons try and carry more corner speed? No, a little bit of wheel spin on the exit will allow Ziegler to move back into 5th ahead of the pole setter, the number 16 machine. Now, I've got to give these guys credit. We still have 24 drivers out on track. Make it, I believe, 25. Justin Sang has returned out to the surface as well. Now, Kariner, Cummins, Kasai, Murphy, Keogh, and Opitz have all put it back in the virtual hauler. So they will have to wait and give it another go in the final sprint race of the evening. Fitzsimmons looking for a way around Ziegler, not finding the opening he's looking for. Nick Peterson, the number 24 machine, he's come down pit road early for a green flag stop. Fitzsimmons and Ziegler still swapping back and forth. This time Fitzsimmons comes back out on top in 5th. But look at this, Ziegler's not willing to give it up. He's going to throw it up the inside line against the flying Brit of Fitzsimmons. Oh, and it looks like there was a little bit of contact there. Fitzsimmons left rear and Ziegler's front right. I believe there's a little bit of rub. And Fitzsimmons will once again hold on to 5th. Another battle going on track. Xavier Zanave, Nick Terrell side by side. Zanave running 12th, Terrell running 13th. Terrell a big move up the inside, trying to edge out the Frenchman Zanave. Looks, it's too tight to tell. Oh, a big moment there out of, I think that was Zanave. Yes, it was. As he falls back to 15th. Here comes Gareth McAllister, Micah Barnett trying to crawl up into the standings. Terrell's going to hold on to the 12th place spot. McAllister, definitely our hard charger. He's up 15 positions in that number 25, which is very impressive with how stacked the talent is here at Austria. Got a crash report. Norman King has issues. He takes a tow back to pit road. Looks like Fox just passed Beaver for 7th as well, continuing his charge up towards the front. Now the top 5 fairly spread out here, separated by about a second or more. Get live timing, rocking and rolling on that side of your screen. As Micah Barnett, Nick Terrell in a very heated battle for 13th. Now McAllister running in 12th, wants to break away, wants to get away from these guys as quickly as he possibly can. As it looks like Terrell able to hold on to the 13th place spot here. Oh no, who is that? That was Zanave making a wild ride. Looks like the car's relatively okay. A fairly safe rejoin. And you can see Felipe Ramos makes it 14 positions gained against Nick Trollman's number 8 machine on the live time. And you can see the positions gained or lost by your favorite driver. Our Charger still McAllister. He's up 16 positions so far tonight. Got guys such as Felipe Ramos, he's up 14 spots. Nick Trollman's up 10. Felipe Sarkis up 10 positions. Peter Redger, he's gained 11 spots. Going to be very interesting to see how this one works. A little bit further ahead of these two, it looks like Beaver and Fox still going at it into turn 1. Beaver's up 10 spots. Fox is up 33 so far. And it also looks like Fitzsimmons trying to work around Antonio Bianchi. Oh, Bianchi not willing to give it up to number 17 versus the 16 of Fitzsimmons. Now Fitzsimmons started in pole position, fell way down the standings after a lap one, turn one incident. But he's got a championship on his mind here, looking back up towards the front now. We do have the track map pulled up in the bottom right-hand side of your screen so you can see where those drivers are and how spread out things are getting here. Charles Cariner looks like he rejoined the track and then had some sort of incident back in 27th. But at least he's been able to rejoin the surface here. Back to Fitzsimmons. That's Antonio Bianchi right there with him. Now these two drivers are about 3.5 seconds back from Max Wobbles, who sits in third. And it looks like hard charger Gareth McAllister. Oh my goodness, McAllister, the commentator's curse strikes, locks up the brakes, around he goes. He's gonna fall back to 15th in current damage control. Back on surface, so McAllister no longer the hard charger. Looks like it's gonna be Felipe Ramos in the 73 machine. McAllister was setting up a move on Nick Trollman's number 8 machine. Just too much brake pressure, flipped it around. And I would think that McAllister's probably going to box early here, knowing he's used up a whole lot of tire with that incident. We have somebody blinking fiercely. Couldn't quite tell who that was. It was a lap down driver. Maybe Justin Stang, possibly Charles Cariner. And as we pan to Felipe Ramos, our hard charger, he's going to come down pit road here. The first driver for what I would call a green flag stop. And it looks like Daniel Zager's getting company from Max Wobbles in what could be the battle for second. Gareth McAllister, as predicted, also coming down pit road. The first drivers hitting their box under green flag conditions. Let's see, can Wobbles close the gap and work his way up higher into podium contention? On board with Wobbles in that number 13 machine, the privateer effort. He's up 4 spots this evening. Still holding about 3.2 seconds ahead of Fitzsimmons. Now Fitzsimmons last time by was just about a half second faster than your third place driver. It'll be interesting to see if that battle comes to fruition over the race here this evening. Justin Stang showing involved in a crash in the final section of the circuit here at Red Bull Ring. I believe that's correct. No, it was coming down the hill, I believe. Stang in damage control mode. More drivers joining the ever-growing retiree list. The number 66 machine left pit road and quickly returned. Daniel still holding on to the second place spot against Max Wobbles. Your race leader, Reed Gibson, has pulled a 5.6 second gap. Here we go, that battle for second shaping up. Both drivers opting to stay out. Gibson has pulled it now to a 6-second advantage. Is Wobbles going to make a go of it, or is he going to stay tucked in behind that 77 machine and until it is time to box here? Now, fairly soon, they're going to run into traffic with Felipe Sarkis and Kariner. Just a couple of sections of raceway ahead, and I believe I heard one of the cars more aptly sound like a box of marbles. Oh, here comes Wobbles trying everything he can to set up a pass for second. Getting on that 77 machine, able to hold on to it a little while longer. Now we are past the halfway mark, so when drivers come down pit road, they will be good to go on fuel to make it to the end. Now historically, drivers do not take tires here at League Zero. They will just take fuel and get right back out there as quick as they can. Oh, here we go, the battle for second. Wobbles trying to make it happen. Can the number 13 machine edge out the 77? It looks like he may have the preferred line on the inside line. Behind them, you can see Fitzsimmons closing the gap. Wobbles comes out on top. Zegger's trying to carry a little bit more momentum. Wobbles holding on to it here. And look at this, it's going to be a three-car battle for second. Wobbles, Deggers, Fitzsimmons all in the fray. My goodness, Wobbles holding on to it. Fitzsimmons has muscled his way back into podium position. Has worked his way back up into third. Gibson checking out as your race leader, over 9 seconds ahead. The Wobbles way off track there. I'm surprised he didn't get a bit of a slowdown. Fitzsimmons looking for a way through. Degger's still in the hunt as well. It's three drivers all battling for second and third place. Gibson, your race leader. Wobble second, Fitzsimmons third. Zeggers fourth, Ziegler fifth. As I say that, Fitzsimmons and Zeggers going side by side once more for the final podium spot. Now, how much longer will these guys be able to stay out for? But Wobbles is going to hold on to second, Fitzsimmons in third. And we've got a prop reported for Felipe Ramos. Bit of extra contact there as Ricardo Espino comes around. Ramos falls back to 18th, no longer the hard charger. I verify it's going to be Peter Renger, the Austrian, sporting the number 44 machine. He is up 15 spots this evening. Another battle going on. Looks like Micah Barnett edging out Blaine Sparling's number 9 machine. Now in races in season past, normally around lap 19-20, the field is going to be a little bit calmer as it spreads out. Not here at the race opener at the Austrian GP. It has been nothing but non-stop action. As I see the live timing tower start to update, it looks like Fitzsimmons trying to catch back up to Wobbles. See if he can make his way up into second as Reed Gibson, your race leader, comes down pit road for a green flag stop. He's about 10 seconds ahead of Wobbles and Fitzsimmons before initiating that stop, and they're going to follow him down pit road as well as Daniel Zegers. Jared Ziegler also coming down pit road as well as Nick Beaver. Let's see if Fox stays out in the 33. Looks like the top 7 all down pit road together. That's going to be Gibson still as your race leader. Wobbles and Fitzsimmons rolling out less than a half second between each other. Oh, looks like Wobbles a big moment. Here comes Fitzsimmons to try and capitalize. Fitzsimmons looking for a way around the number 13 machine. Right behind him in the background, now you can see that's Jared Ziegler and Daniel Zegers battling. Oh, Wobbles holds on to it, locks up the brakes, edging out Fitzsimmons. 8 laps left to go here in the feature event of the night. And a insanely heated battle for second, and this has allowed Reed Gibson the entire time to stretch his legs and break away from the rest of the pack here. Felipe Ramos involved in another incident, unfortunately for the 73 machine. Looks like he's in a very precarious spot. Hold on to it because here comes Peter Rettinger, making it 15 spots gain. Look at this, Gareth McAllister. I'm not entirely sure how, where, or when. I see McAllister, one of the few drivers who has not come down pit road yet. He shows us the hard charger up 17 positions. And we know he had that bad luck right as we panned the camera to him earlier. We thought he had pulled something magical out of the back pocket. Looks like a 3-car battle for 5th. Zegers, Bianchi, and Beaver. Separated by less than a half second. Bianchi right there putting the pressure on the 77 up the inside line. We've seen wheel-to-wheel contact here before. Both drivers trying to give each other as much room as they can. Who is going to come out on top once they make their way to the start-finish line? Looks like Zegers has a slight advantage. No, Bianchi fires immediately back in the number 17 machine. And now Nick Beaver's going to try and get a piece of it as well. And this is only the battle for 5th, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are putting on a show. Bianchi has put himself 4 tenths ahead of Zegers or of Beaver. And it looks like Beaver now really wants to get around that 77. Looking for an opening. Can he find it? Here comes Beaver up the inside line. They've closed the gap to Bianchi. Yes. Beaver making the move up into 6th. We get a report Felipe Ramos has retired from this feature event. Gonna try and get the car back ready for the sprint race. Zegers and Beaver still battling fiercely for the 6th place position. Bianchi has pulled a 6/10 gap as he sits in 5th. Looks like Bianchi's going to stretch his gap a second away on this ongoing battle for 6th. Checking in on Reed Gibson, your race leader. A 10.5 second advantage over Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons, to his credit, started on pole, worked his way all the way back up to 2nd. And we've got more problems going on towards the back. It looks like Nick Terrell. Looks like it's a solo car incident here. I'll wait for some drivers to make their way around before he rejoins the track surface. But these two, Nick Beaver, Daniel Zager, still going at it in the battle for 6th. We try to check in on Reed Gibson before Terrell went off on track, and then we see once more get the report Zagers and Beaver side by side. The bigger the fields get here at League 0, the more action-packed it seems to be every night, and every time these drivers get on track, such a diverse skill gap. Skill variety, I should more aptly say. As we check in on Reed Gibson, your race leader. Completely open track ahead and behind him here. Now as he keeps going, he may catch up to Felipe Sarkis. The number 4 machine, he is 19th out on track. And Gibson just clicking off laps, making it look easy here. Further back, looks like McAllister and Zanave battling out for the 12th place spot. McAllister up the inside line. Both McAllister and Zanave have had their fair share of incidents, as it looks like Alex Penn and the all-yellow number 30 machine starting to close the gap as well here. Now the top 12 spot, very important, as we do have an inverted top 12 grid for the sprint race. So as we watch Zanave, McAllister, and Penn battle it out, all 3 of these drivers are going to really want that 12th place spot if that's the most they can gain, because that means they'll be in the very top spot for the sprint race, for that opening track position, so incredibly crucial. Right now, Zanave gonna hold on to it. Alex Penn with a move up the inside line of McAllister. There we go, McAllister comes down pit road for a late race stop. That's going to allow Zanave and Penn to maybe have their own battle for 12th. Now this is McAllister's only stop, I believe. Really stretch up the fuel run. I wonder if McAllister was trying something wild there on strategy. McAllister out of his pit stall in 5 seconds, so just splashing off on fuel. No, you know what that was? McAllister serving a penalty here. Oh no, gut-wrenching for the Australian. He came down pit road on lap 20. The box came back in 6 laps later, serving that penalty. So all that work just continually undone. Now McAllister now be chased by the hard charge of the night, Peter Rettinger, back in 16. He's up 15 positions gained so far. And right now the camera focused on 6th place driver Nick Beaver, up 10 spots. Like Zanave is not going to have too much of a breakaway, as here comes Alex Penn to contest for the 12th place position. Oh, as I say that, around goes Penn. Trying to see who that was that just went off track around him. Oh, that was Kevin Burrows, the number 80 machine, taking evasive maneuvers there. Back up front, Reed Gibson, your race leader, has made his way around 17th place driver, Felipe Sarkis in the number 4 machine. Relatively clean track ahead of him, but once he catches up to Peter Redinger in 16th, if there's enough time here, he will have all sorts of company. As you can see, traffic ahead, but I think the white flag will be out this time by. This could spell bad, good news, excuse me, for Gibson. Fitzsimmons in second, have a little bit of blinking issues. Doesn't seem to be too much of a major issue. As the white flag will come out this time by for Reed Gibson, who's been the dominant driver, that number 11 machine, avoiding the misfortune of so many other drivers. White flag is indeed out here at the Red Bull Ring. And Gibson with a pretty spectacular debut. Just has to survive one more lap. His pace still fantastic, a 123.99 his last time by. Not seen anybody else who is that quick as they cross the line for the second to final time so far this evening. Oh, a rough spot for Gibson. I think that was Justin Sang. Guess who was, who had unfortunately crashed in front of the race leader. Sang is going to take a tow back to pit road. He's done and out for the night. And here we go for the final couple of corners. Reed Gibson's going to bring it home here at Red Bull Ring, excuse me, his first win in the season debut. Put your hands together. Reed Gibson picking up the win. Finley Fitzsimmons going to overcome tragedy. He's going to bring home a second. Max Wobbles third. And let's pan back the battle for fifth. Oh, there goes Nick Beaver off into no man's land. He's trying to fend off or trying to get around Antonio Bianchi. It looks like there's still some last lap carnage. Roman trying to fend off Michael Barnett behind them. Kevin Burrows trying to fend off Xavier Zanave. Oh, and that's going to be the battle for 12th too. So whoever comes out on top here will be starting on pole for the sprint race. Looks like Burrows has shaken off Zanave. They round the final couple of corners here. It's going to be Burrows rounding out the top 12. My, oh my, what a race, what a race. So for the feature event, it's Reed Gibson, Finley Fitzsimmons, Max Wobbles, your top three, Jared Ziegler, Antonio Bianchi, the top five. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we will start the final sprint race of the evening. Half the laps, twice the action, and a whole lot of shenanigans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, race fans, as we get ready to fire them off for the sprint race. Half the laps, twice the action here at League Zero. The top 12 have been inverted. It's going to be Kevin Burrows in the top spot, the number 80 machine, excuse me. As we get ready, and away they go. Let's try this and see what's going to happen. 14 laps or 30 minutes, whatever comes first. And already we're hinting at 3 wide into turn 1. Nick Trollman right in the fray, and here we go. The party has started. Trying to see who all that is. It's going to be a healthy list of drivers. Looks like it's Nick Beaver squarely involved in the front there. Let's take a quick look, see already what happened in turn 1 controversy. So here we go, the field already stacking up deep into turn 1. We're focusing on Nick Beaver's number 10 machine. Everybody tips in. So far, so good. 3 wide. Turn 1 quickly becoming a parking lot. Looks like Beaver comes down, hits the number 13. I think that was Max Wobbles in the all black. And then the field just stacks up behind him here. Nobody with any room to go. Oh, what a precarious spot for Beaver. Wow. We're going to watch that one once more from on board that number 10 machine. I think this might be the highlight of the race right here, judging on how everything else works out. So we're on board with Nick Beaver's number 10 machine once more. Heavy on the brakes, tips into the right, doesn't realize he's 3 wide, around he goes. And that is not a view you want to see. That's Alex Penn's number 30 machine, and Beaver. Wow. Is that not what you want to see? I think the emojis on either side of that Formula 3 machine speak to his current reactions here. What a huge moment, the opening lap of this sprint race. That's going to put Kevin Burrows, your race leader, Micah Barnett second, Daniel Zegers currently in third. And let's see if things calm out slightly here. Looks like the top 3's starting to stretch out a little bit. If we go back to 6th place, Antonio Bianchi, he's putting the pressure on Eric Fox as we see some off-track excursions ahead. I think that was Strollman and Fox extending the track limits ever so slightly. Bianchi putting the hammer down on that number 17 machine because he knows Fitzsimmons right behind him. Fitzsimmons very, very quick. Now it looks like to me, yeah, Nick Beaver has retired from this race. Jake Duckwall not coming out on circuit to give it another go. And here we go. We're 2 wide once more. It's Fox and Trollman going at it. Fox up into 4th. Trollman currently 5th. Right behind him, that's Bianchi and Fitzsimmons also side by side. We've got more problems towards the back. Oh, big problems. A huge crash. Oh my goodness, it looked like Felipe Sarkis also involved in that one. Nick Trollman, Blaine Sparling, Peter Renger, Felipe Ramos. Oh, this is going to be another good one, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a look at this massive turn 1 crash. John Kasai somehow involved in that one. Comes around the corner and the field stacking up, everybody swerving around, and John Kasai just getting sent to the shadow realm in the number 3 machine. It's going to be a long list of drivers taking a tow back to pit road here. As it's, oh yeah, it's a bunch. Rettinger, Sarkis, Ramos, King, Kasai, Beaver, all now down in pit road. Back up front, Kevin Burrows has Micah Barnett, 6/10 and closing fast behind him. Or we can see a battle for the lead shape up here. Or can Burrows fend off Barnett? Ziegler still squarely in 3rd. And if we go a little bit further back to Eric Fox in 4th, he's got Bianchi, he's got Fitzsimmons, he's got Gibson. He's also got Jarrett Reed. That's a lot of fast guys inside this top 10. Still trying to make something happen. Barnett clicks off a fast lap on 125.66. Now we saw a 125 flat in the feature event. Will we see it again in the sprint? As Fox tries to defend, that's Bianchi and Fitzsimmons side by side behind him. Fitzsimmons trying to work, we hint at 3 wide. Is there enough room here to make it happen? It looks like we're trying to go 4 wide with Reed Gibson. looking for a way through here. Here comes Jared Ziegler into formation. Oh, 3 wide, they're bumping and grinding. Fitzsimmons comes out on top of this pack in 4th. Bianchi still trying to fend off Fox. Ziegler in the... That's going to be Gibson side by side. Oh, there's Fox, Ziegler, Gibson going at it. Gibson showing he wants to make it back-to-back, making an outside move against Ziegler's number 57 machine. Looks like Gibson's going to make that pass stick. Now he's focusing on Eric Fox right ahead. Fox, meanwhile, trying to put the pressure on Bianchi in the battle for 5th. There's Burrows with a 124.86, a screaming fast lap. Now Daniel Zager's in 3rd on 124.87, so the pace is good. It's Fox, Gibson, Ziegler, 3 wide once more into 1. Looks like Fox somehow pulls that one off. Ziegler, Gibson, now Trollman, now Fairchild. Wobbles on the fray. This is about 6th through 11th place. Really starting to bunch up here. Ooh, almost contact there between Fairchild and Wobbles. Wobbles looking for a way around. Fairchild being defensive. Wobbles sets back up for the inside line. Big move under braking. Fairchild tries to carry a little bit more momentum, but Wobbles is going to shut off the number 88 machine there. And up front, we've got even more side-by-side action. That's Kevin Burrows, Micah Barnett battling for the race lead. Barnett briefly shows as your race leader, pulling a 10th on Burrows. Here comes Daniel Zegers to make it a 3-car battle. Zegers a gutsy move up the inside line. There's contact between Burrows and the number 80. Zegers in the 77. That's going to give Barnett the slightest of breakaways. Now Burrows in the number 80 machine. He is the fastest driver. He's got a 124.86, the fastest lap so far of the race. 1/100th of a second. As I say that, Fitzsimmons back and forth just clicked off a 124.31. The pace getting quicker as the laps start to tick off here. And still a very tight 3-car battle for the win. It's Micah Barnett, Daniel Zegers going side by side. You're on board with Kevin Burrows back in 3rd, closing the gap rather quickly. As that was Zegers locking up the brakes. That's going to give the 2nd place position back to Burrows. Zegers falls to 3rd. Barnett takes over the race lead. Your top 3 separated by less than 0.3 of a second. Oh, a big move once more by Burrows on the inside line. Zegers moves back up in a 2nd, carrying a little bit more momentum. There's Fitzsimmons back and forth, trying to close a 2-second deficit. Micah Barnett, your race leader, going to try and use that clean air to his advantage. See if he can check out here. As we check in on another 3-car battle. This is Fox, Ziegler, and Gibson running 6th, 7th, and 8th out on the circuit. Ziegler moves up into 6th. Fox and Gibson staying in hot pursuit. And we've been seeing some big lunges using the draft. It's still going to be Ziegler, Fox, Gibson. Oh no, Fox goes off track very wide there. May get a bit of a slowdown. As going back up front, looks like Barnett still holding about an 8 to a 9/10 advantage over Zegers. Zegers about the same over Burrows, showing at just about 0.8 of a second over the 3rd place driver. What a wild race it's been so far, as now the top 4 starting to tighten up. Mike Barnett, still your race leader. Biggers in second, Burrows third, but it looks like Burrows may have some company as Fitzsimmons closing the gap to the third place driver, that number 80 machine. Fitzsimmons once again the fastest lap of the race at 124.19. Tucked in behind that number 80 of Burrows. Fitzsimmons with a big move under braking. Looks like he's going to take over third here. Now, Jager's in the 77. He's about 1.4 seconds ahead now of the third place driver. You're at the halfway mark of the sprint race. Does Fitzsimmons have enough time to try and make something happen? Because I think Kevin Burrows is going to fire back as quickly as he possibly can. Looks like Fitzsimmons getting a little bit of a breakaway there. There's another battle for 6th going on. That's Reed Gibson, Jared Ziegler running 6th and 7th. Nose to wing. Now Gibson won the feature event. Already in a good points position. Nick Trollman, Justin Sang side by side for the top 10. You can see Michael Fairchild's 88 machine just ahead. I just heard somebody spinning behind him, I think. Not quite sure where I heard that tire screeching from. Oh, and look at this Sang, Trollman still going at it. Max Wobbles has had some sort of issues. He's fallen back to 14. Let's check in on Max Wobbles trying to close the gap down to Nick Terrell. Looks like Terrell has a bit of a bobble as well. Wobbles takes a peek up the inside line. Who's going to be? Wobbles up the inside. No, that's Terrell. Wobbles making the outside line work, the number 13 machine. Up front, Fitzsimmons has put down another fastest lap of the race, sitting in third on 124.03. It looks like we are going to have a battle for the lead. Biggers has closed the gap to Barnett. It was down to a half second, almost 4/10. Barnett finding a little bit more time trying to fend off against that 77. Oh, well, we see that 77 able to close that gap. Just 5 laps left to go here. Fitzsimmons in third, wants these top 2 to battle it out so he can get up into the fray, try and make something happen as well. The feature event not going how the young Brit really planned for after qualifying in the top position. Baker's trying to get that thing going, tucked in behind the draft of Barnett. Will we see a move into one, or is the gap too big? The gap closes to 1/4 of a second. Zegers hops out of line, quickly back into the draft to the 59 of Barnett. Oh, Barnett flat tracks it through turn 1. We may have something going on here. Here comes Daniel Zegers, the 77. Side by side with Barnett. Zegers takes over the lead just barely by a wing. Hugging the inside of the track, trying to get this thing set up. As Barnett fires back to the inside line, Zegers going to try and carry a little bit more momentum. It's a drag race down the hill here at the Red Bull Ring. The race leaders side by side, and look who's joined the party. Finley Fitzsimmons, the number 16 machine. qualified in pole for that feature event, has had a night of misfortune, and all of a sudden he is back in it, ladies and gentlemen, as Barnett and Zegers side by side once more, coming down the start-finish line stretch. No, excuse me, down the back half of the racetrack. They've got to wind down the curving hill here at Red Bull Ring. Fitzsimmons may be able to get something set up here in the draft. We still have it's about 4 laps left to go. Are these top 3 drivers showing their cards too early? As the top 3 now separated by 1/4 of a second. Who's going to make the first move and hop out of line here? Barnett and Fitzsimmons both with great pace, both with the draft advantage. Fitzsimmons takes a bit of a peek to the inside of Micah Barnett. Zegers trying to hold outside line. Fitzsimmons up into second. Barnett backs out of it ever so slightly to complete turn 1, so Fitzsimmons has moved up to second. But all of a sudden, Daniel Zegers has pulled 8, almost 9/10 over the second and third place drivers. What a wild season opener here, ladies and gentlemen. Is it Zegers, Fitzsimmons, Barnett, your top 3? And these guys are just absolutely put on a click. Now you can see Kevin Burrows just outside. He's about 2 seconds back from Micah Barnett. The one little incident up here in the top 3 will be enough for him to maybe get up there and steal away a podium. Zegers still your race leader by about 7/10 of a second. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Just a couple short laps left to go. But we've also had another 3-car battle going on our track. That's Nick Peterson, Max Wobbles, Nick Terrell. 13th, 14th, and 15th. We did get a report that Levi Opitz has joined the list of drivers back down pit road. Alex Penn, unfortunately, has had to retire. Felipe Sarkis, Felipe Ramos, Norman King, Michael Cow, Xavier Zanabe, Peter Rettinger, John Kasai, Nick Beaver, all drivers that had to retire early. Jake Duckwall, he did not start here at this event. And the top 3 has not been able to shake each other off. Daniel Zegers leads by a half second. Fitzsimmons has company with Micah Barnett, 3/10 behind him. Laps rapidly clicking off here for the season opener. And that time it's Micah Barnett setting the fastest lap of the race, a 124.02. Fitzsimmons a 124.03. They've gained just about 2/10 on your race leader, Daniel Zegers. Ooh, a big lockup out of the 77 machine. That may be exactly what Fitzsimmons and Barnett are looking for here, a chance to capitalize. This is going to be a massive shootout once the white flag comes out. Nobody inside the top 3 wants to show their hand too early. Got about 3/10 of the lap left to go. And it's still anybody's guess who's going to bring home the win. Now Daniel has pulled a 3/10 advantage. Oh, almost 6/10. Is it going to be enough? Will Fitzsimmons and Barnett be able to pick up the draft from the race leader as the white flag is out for the final sprint race of the evening? Barnett clicks off a 123.88. He's got fire in his eyes. He sits in third. Zegers, knowing there's no more time left, he is hoping that Fitzsimmons and Barnett get distracted battling for second so he can win this thing uncontested. Barnett in hot pursuit of the young British driver Fitzsimmons. Daniel Zegers out front pulling a 9/10 gap. He's got no worries, especially if Fitzsimmons start to battle. They do. Fitzsimmons, Barnett going side by side. Here comes Barnett, a big lunge at the inside line. Fitzsimmons tries to fire back. Barnett running the defensive line. Fitzsimmons goes for the high-low, unable to make the pass stick. Will Fitzsimmons be able to make something happen? This could give the win to Daniel Zegers as they battle fiercely for second, still side by side. Fitzsimmons pulling about a wing ahead. Barnett fires right back, so does Fitzsimmons. It's a knife fight here at the Red Bull Ring as they make their way around the final section of the circuit. Daniel Zegers checking out 1.4 seconds ahead. Fitzsimmons looks like he's going to hold on to second here. And here we go for the final time. Daniel Zegers picks up the win here at Red Bull Ring. Finley Fitzsimmons second. And Michael Barnett will round out the top three. Well done as well to Kevin Burrows and Jared Ziegler for rounding out the top five. Daniel Zegers is going to enjoy the limelight here in that number 77 machine. A first career win here at League Zero. And just reveling in the moment. That's going to put Daniel Zegers his first ever win here in the sprint race. Finley Fitzsimmons bringing home a second. Micah Barnett scoring the final podium spot. Kevin Burrows, Jared Ziegler rounding out the top five. On behalf of LeagueZero.net as well as Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the broadcast, supporting the league, and supporting your favorite drivers. I look forward to having you all back next week, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.